Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down.
Well, hello everybody. It's time already. It seems like I just did this 2 days ago, but it's time for Crown and Comments December 2024.
And welcome to yet another episode of Crown and Comments with your host and resident Goldwing guru, the one, the only, Cruiseman. Brought to you by Cruiseman's Garage Honda Goldwing Maintenance Videos.
Thank you, Dawn, for that great, amazing introduction. Welcome back to Crown and Comments with Cruiseman, and that would be me, of course. And this is the last Crown and Comments for 2024. Won't do another one until next year, which will be 2025. I've got my Crown Royal, which is my favorite adult beverage. And what I invite you to do is grab your favorite drink. Doesn't have to be alcoholic. It could be a Diet Coke or anything. Sit back and relax and try to enjoy the show. This is a motorcycle channel. If you're new to Cruiseman's Garage, that's basically what we do. But sometimes I get off on other topics from time to time. It just depends on how the mood strikes me. The idea behind this show is to respond to some of your comments that you post on my YouTube videos and also give you updates, news, information, stuff that's going on in the world of motorcycling, especially a little bit Goldwing, not just a little bit, but a lot Goldwing oriented if you're a Honda Goldwing owner. And we've got a lot to talk about tonight. We've got a lot of news. I've got a lot to tell you about the recall of the Honda Goldwing. I'm going to update you on a couple of things I found out. And we're going to talk a little bit about the 2025 Honda Goldwing. And then I'm going to open up my MacBook Pro here and we're going to read your comments and I'll give you I pick out certain ones that I just based on what I think are of the most interest to people. Okay, so let's get started. Some of you may have noticed that my website was down for a few days. I was going through the process of changing my domain hosting company. I moved from GoDaddy to another company because I was just sick and tired of dealing with GoDaddy's security. We had our email and our domain hosted with GoDaddy. The website's hosted somewhere else, but the domain name and the email was still at GoDaddy. And it was just getting to be ridiculous what you had to go through to try to sign in. You had to have an authenticator app from Microsoft, and it was just a nightmare. If any of you have dealt with GoDaddy, maybe you can relate with what I'm talking about. So anyway, when I moved the domain name, I had to change the name servers. That takes a couple of days normally to propagate across the internet. And I made a mistake when I entered the name service. It ended up taking about 4 days. So my website was down for about 4 days. Now, some of you, if you had my Goldwing maintenance videos, I did post a different link that you could use to get access to the videos. You didn't have to use the ones that were tied to my domain name, which is good. But some of you didn't know that, and you probably felt like everything was down. So I responded to a few emails, and I appreciate your patience. It's all working now. The email's working now. Everything's working now, I think. And so it's just one of the fun things of owning and operating a website. I do have a winner of the super clean drawing that we did last month. And a couple of weeks ago, I think we picked the winner, and they've already been shipped off their winning package of super clean. It was Carlos from San Diego. I think I have that right. So congratulations. We had several hundred entries for the super clean drawing. And then we also had the Name My Honda Goldwing contest. I think we had 350 or 365 entries. So I ended up naming the Goldwing Shadow, which made sense because my logo up here is called the Shadow Wing, and it never even occurred to me. And somebody, I think it was like the 13th entry, the guy said, hey, it's obvious, you got to name it Shadow. So I did. I know it's a white bike. I've got your comments. Maybe we'll read some of those, I'm not sure. Second place was Ghost. I really liked the name Ghost because it's the name of, Jon Snow's direwolf in Game of Thrones. I'm a big Game of Thrones guy. And then the third place was Whisper. And several people suggested Whisper as a name. So thanks to all of you that participated. By now you should have been contacted by Wing Stuff. You should have received your gift cards. So congratulations once again. Thanks for playing. Now last month I mentioned to you that we had a Black Friday special on my maintenance videos. And it did very well. Many of you purchased the videos. It was a big success. We do have a holiday promotion going right now where you can save. I'll put links in the description of the video that takes you right into that if you haven't gotten your maintenance videos yet. Now, some of you that bought during the Black Friday promotion purchased through the old video on demand system, not the new OTT system. I know it's a little confusing, but we've upgraded to a newer platform. But somehow some of you made your way to the older website and placed your order there. So right now you don't have access to the OTT platform, and it is a little bit, I think it's a little better platform. It's got better search capabilities. It's got a nicer interface. I just think all around it's better. We have a forum where you can post questions and comments and things like that. So if you purchased through the old video on demand system, it doesn't cost you anything to upgrade to the new OTT platform. You just need to send me your receipt that you received from Vimeo. They should have sent you an email receipt. That shows the date that you purchased the videos, and as long as you purchased within the last several months, you don't have to pay for the upgrade. Anybody that purchased, say, prior, I think, to October of 2023, or maybe it's November of 2023, prior to that, then there is a $30 charge to upgrade to the OTT system. But if you purchased my videos after October of 2023, there's no charge. It's a free upgrade. Let me know. I'll put a link in the description of this video. If you don't know how to get the receipt from Vimeo, say you can't find the email, there is a way that you can get that receipt. And once you get the receipt, you can then email it to me at info@cruisemansgarage.com, and I will send you the link that you need to use to get access to the new OTT system. See, right now, when you purchase on the old system, I have no idea who you are. That's one of the big advantages of this new system is when you register and you purchase the new video through the new interface, I have everybody's email address. I can reach out to you. I know who you are. But with the old system, Vimeo did not give me that information. So I have no way to contact you. You have to go through this weird process. And you can still go back and use the old system if you want to. But to be honest with you, Vimeo is raising their prices like everybody. I don't know how long we're going to maintain the old video on demand system because most of you have already upgraded to the new OTT platform. I can go in and check analytics to see how many people are viewing the old videos versus the new, and I'd say 90% of the views right now are on the new platform. So I don't know if it's financially logical for me to continue to pay Vimeo. I'll certainly keep it through the end of 2025. We'll keep the video on demand, but I highly recommend that you go ahead and upgrade to the OTT. I have added some new videos to the maintenance video series. I added a video, and this idea came from one of you guys. Somebody that bought my video said, doesn't it make sense that you would have a video showing how to do the various Honda maintenance, schedule that's like in the back of your owner's manual? I thought, yeah, it's a really good idea. So I put out a video on what I recommend that you do at 1,000 miles. I put out a video on what I recommend you do at 4,000 miles, and then I put out another video at 8,000 miles, and then, of course, the corresponding kilometers, you can do the math. And the 8,000 is pretty in-depth because Honda recommends a lot of different inspections of different systems during that 8,000 miles, so it's a fairly long video. But if you want to do it yourself, save the money, because remember we did a video not long ago where I showed you how much one of my friends paid for an 8,000 mile service, and it was over $600. So that will for most of you, that more than double pay for the videos right there. You get double your money back on the cost of the videos just by watching that video. And it's not anything in there that you can't do yourself. You can do all these things yourself. It's really not difficult. One other little quick update, Christmas coming up. Merry Christmas, everybody, by the way. I will probably be doing a video before Christmas. I'm not sure if I'll get one in before Christmas. I'll definitely get one in before New Year's because I'll be traveling to Midland for my normal annual Christmas trip. I'm going a little bit later this year, but I will be there in between Christmas and New Year's. I uploaded, the last news item is I uploaded a video. I think it went live today. I've had it, my members have had access to it. And for those of you who don't know what members are, YouTube memberships, you can pay so much a month and you get early access to some of my videos. You also get some behind the scenes videos and some discounts and other little perks. If you're interested, you can check it out. Just look at the little join button on the YouTube underneath my video. It'll say join and it'll tell you how that works. And I created this video, and it's a whole new concept for me. I call it an ASMR type video. And it's basically 45 minutes of me just riding on the $1 Million Highway. No talking, no music, nothing but the sound of the Honda Goldwing engine, maybe a little wind noise every now and then. It's the kind of video that if you're having trouble going to sleep at night, but just the sound, that constant sound of a Honda Goldwing engine might help you go to sleep. It'd be a great video for that. Now, right now, that video does have ads on it, but I'm uploading a version tomorrow just for my members. For those of you that are supporting the channel by paying for a membership, I'll be uploading a version just for you that has no advertisements. So if you are trying to sleep to it, you don't want to be interrupted with some YouTube ad. So that's one of the advantages. We're going to start doing that more and more in 2025. I'm going to start uploading other versions of my videos for my members that won't have any ads. So that's another advantage to being a member. Okay, enough of that. When we come back, I am going to go and give you a little bit more detailed information on this Honda Recall, this service bulletin that just came out. I did a video on it a couple of days ago. And anybody with a 2018 to 2021 Goldwing, this will affect. So please hang around until after this ad break and we'll talk about the service recall.
We stay up waiting for Sena tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light while we're dancing around.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Crown and Comments, December 2024. Let's talk a little bit about this service bulletin that Honda recently released. 30-page service bulletin. Now, I got my hands on one through a back channel. I don't want to say where. I put a couple of images in my video from that service bulletin. I basically just wanted to let everybody know what's involved and that you'll be getting a letter from Honda or an email if you haven't already, to let you know if your motorcycle falls in the range. Now on that bulletin it says certain Goldwings will be subject to this recall. I did speak with my friend Jacob over in the service department, the service manager there at DFW Honda yesterday, and he made it sound to me like it's every 2018 to 2021 Goldwing is being recalled. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I can only assume he's right. So if you have a 2018 to 2021, the odds are pretty good. Maybe if you have a later 2021 at the end, toward the end of the year, maybe it won't be included. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I didn't press him on it. And in that video, I kept mentioning the NTSB, that these things were required by the NTSB, and I meant to say NHTSA. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, I think, is the government agency that monitors and deals with recalls. I just basically wanted to tell you, I had several people ask questions, and it's probably in the comments section here, asking me, what do you do if you own a Trike? How is that going to affect? Because they have to take a lot of stuff off the bike to get access to this area of the engine to replace this bolt that could potentially fail. I don't know how many of these things have failed. I did get an email from one of our viewers in Brazil. He said he knows of 2 with manual transmissions that have failed. I talked to my friends out at Southern Honda in Tennessee, which is where I picked up my Goldwing. I think they said they've had 2 where the bolt failed and they had to do the whole repair. You know, it's not a common occurrence, but obviously it is pretty serious if it happens. Anyway, the answer on the question, if you own a Trike, Honda does reimburse the dealers for the additional time it takes to take everything off the Trike that needs to be taken off. I'm sure there's body panels and other things, so you're still covered. You'll still be covered under this recall. Don't have to worry about that. And the dealer will be reimbursed for any additional time. The same is true if you have a lot of accessories installed. Honda will reimburse the dealers for the time it takes to take off a belly pan or lights or anything like that. I kept getting a lot of questions. How long is this going to take? Well, it depends on your motorcycle. If you've got a lot of accessories installed, it's going to take longer because that's more stuff that the tech has to deal with. If you've got a really messed up wiring situation under your seat with a lot of spaghetti wires going everywhere, I don't know what to say. I don't know how that's going to be handled yet, because a dealer does not really want to be responsible for unhooking and rehooking up a bunch of stuff that you've installed on your own in a haphazard manner. But you're still covered. It's just, I don't know how long it's going to take for your motorcycle to get completed. I would recommend that you go ahead and contact your dealer and schedule the appointment as soon as possible. And I know that some of the dealers are already taking appointments. I know that DFW Honda in our local area here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Now, this isn't going to have much meaning to you depending on where you are in the country or the world. And if you live in Canada or Great Britain or New Zealand or Australia, where we have a lot of other viewers, Spain, South America, this doesn't really apply to you. But if you live, I would say, in the Texas area, maybe even parts of Oklahoma, Louisiana, DFW Honda might be a good option for you to consider having this done. You can contact Jacob or Tanner. So let them know that you're interested in having them do this recall repair, this service on your Honda Goldwing. Now, when I was talking to Jacob yesterday, he made my viewers, those of you who are watching this video, a very, very generous and special offer. And again, this is only good if you're going to be taking your motorcycle to DFW Honda here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But while they're working on your motorcycle doing this repair, they're going to have a lot of parts removed from the motorcycle. This is a perfect opportunity for you to have if you want to have any accessories installed as part of the reassembly of the bike, they're going to give you a 25% discount on the labor charge if you decide you want to have any other accessories installed during this recall service. Now, if you take your bike in there and you're not getting the recall done, that deal doesn't exist. This is for people that are getting the recall. You get a 25% discount on the labor. If you buy your accessories at DFW Honda to be installed during this recall repair, you're going to get 20% discount on any accessories. So if you decide you want some new LEDs added, or it could be anything. It could be any of the Gold Strike or Show Chrome or any of those parts. I would suggest getting them while you're getting this recall done, especially if you are getting close to needing a new air cleaner. Go ahead and get a new air cleaner. I think the cost of the air cleaner is maybe $40 or $50. Going to save 25% on the labor. And they're talking about the additional labor of what it's going to cost to do the air cleaner. It's not like you're going to have to pay the full 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever they normally charge, because everything's already torn apart. All they got to do is take out like 10 screws out of the air cleaner box, pop in a new air cleaner, so they may charge you an extra, I don't know, but nevertheless, you're never going to get it done again that inexpensively. So there's a deal for you. The only catch, there is a catch. You have to tell them you heard about it on Cruiseman's Garage, Crown and Comments. You have to tell them when you go in or you book your appointment, hey, I saw this on Cruiseman's Garage. I want that discount. So if you do that, you get the deal. And DFW Honda is not sponsoring this video. I'm just passing along this deal to you because they offered it, and I think it's a value to you guys. So if you're planning on having this done and you want to add some accessories, take advantage of that. Okay, when we come back, I'm going to tell you everything I know again about the 2025 Honda Goldwing, so you don't want to miss that. And then we're going to get to your comments.
Down. We stay up waiting for Sena tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Cruiseman's Garage, Crown and Comments, December 2024. Okay, what do I know about the 2025 Goldwing? I think in a previous video I said, and by the way, all of these videos that you see on YouTube about the 2025 Goldwing with all the new colors that are coming out, all of that's BS. Nobody knows anything yet. That much I do know. I know that nobody knows anything. I have some decent sources, okay? And what I'm telling you right now is nobody knows anything definite about the 2025 Honda Goldwing. I suspect we're going to hear something in February. That's a rumor that I heard through the grapevine, that Honda wasn't going to announce anything until February. If they don't announce it until February, you probably aren't going to start seeing any new bikes coming into the dealers until March or April. So it's later than normal. Normally, they announce in November and you start seeing bikes come up in January or February, but we're going to be running a couple of months behind. I suspect that because of A, this recall, and B, this new optimism that is pretty apparent about the economy in the United States and maybe worldwide. I don't know. I don't know if it's worldwide. Tell me in the comments below. But there's definitely a level of optimism about the future that wasn't there a few months ago. And I think people are going to be willing to spend money. I think what's going to happen is that's going to create a higher demand for the 2025 model. And maybe Honda was waiting until after the election. Maybe that's why they delayed everything. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. I have no idea. They probably don't even care about our election. But I think in this particular time and history, that there's a lot more confidence about the economy right now than there was a year ago. So that translates into, and interest rates are coming down. Inflation will be, it is coming down, but it's still inflation on a higher overall number. So, we still have issues, okay? But I just think the optimism itself, I think consumers' confidence is going to be higher. And I think next year people are going to be more willing to buy a new Honda Goldwing. Maybe some of those people that hesitated a year ago might be willing to do it. Plus, it's going to be an anniversary edition. So there's excitement about that. I'm sure there'll be a badge or something on the bike to identify that it's an anniversary model. I am hoping that they will make some changes, but I don't know if they will. They'll change colors, probably. We'll probably have some new colors. One thing I know is I did some looking around on some of the dealership websites. I specifically look at Southern Honda because that's where I got my bike, and they had some incredible, pretty nice deals right now on 2024s, and they got a ton of them. Now, when the 2025s come out, you might get a better deal on a 2024. I'm not sure. They probably won't be dealing a lot on 2025s when they first come out because they're going to be in high demand. But right now, they got some pretty good deals on the 2024s. So I noticed they had some of the gray and black. They had some of the baggers. They had the white and black like mine, like Shadow. You may want to check that out if you're in the market. I'll just throw it out to you if you are interested. But I don't personally know of any changes that are going to be made to the 2025 model. I'm hopeful. I'm hoping they do something. But if they don't, we're looking at new colors, anniversary badging, and one thing I know, they're going to be a higher price. They will be priced higher. They always increase the price. Now, last year, they did it pretty good, holding the prices steady. I think they only raised the price $100. So I was shocked. So good on Honda for that. Okay, when we come back, your comments, my reactions, my responses, coming right up after this.
We stay up waiting for Sena tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Crown and Comments, December 2024. The last Crown and Comments of 2024. And I was just pulling up the comments. I keep everything in a folder. Every month I rename the folder based on the episode. Can you believe this is the 40th episode of Crown and Comments? I've done 40 of these. I think the first 2 or 3 were like coffee and comments, and then inflation forced me into Crown Royal. Okay, I'm just going to take these in the order they come, and I'll read you the comment. I'll try to pronounce the person's name. I'm not very good at that because sometimes these names are a little wonky. Okay, Eric S. something. I don't usually put the numbers in, so. Okay, this is a comment on my comparison between the Honda Goldwing and the BMW GTL 1600. I did this a couple of years ago. He said, let me guess, this guy loves his Goldwing, so let me save you some time. His Goldwing, in his mind, beats everything. And then LMAO. Well, Eric, I think there were some areas of the GTL that I admitted I thought were superior to the Honda Goldwing. I think there were several areas I felt like that motorcycle actually had an advantage over the Goldwing. I thought I was pretty fair in that comparison. You're right, I am a Goldwing guy and I am biased, but when I review these motorcycles, I always try to be as fair as I can. But anyway, thank you for the comment, nonetheless. Let's see, this is from Jonathan Dane. This is on a video I did where I was going through the emergency procedure of how you get into your Honda Goldwing, which is ridiculously complicated. That's another story for another video. Question, please. Is there a different emergency code for each key fob, and any of those codes will start the bike? Or is there just one emergency code for the bike? I'm pretty sure there's a different emergency code. I'd have to go back and look at my other key, but I'm pretty sure each key has its own emergency code, because when you, now these are done at the factory now, but when you program the ECU for a new key, let's say you buy a third or a second key fob and program your bike for that new fob, that code goes into somewhere, into the ECU, and you should be able to start the bike with either code if you have two. Now, this is from Stephen Morgan. Stephen posts questions pretty often. Stephen says, Honda IN stands for Honda Interactive Network. Okay, this was on the video I just did on the service bulletin, and I kept referring to their internal system for the dealers as IN because I had forgotten that it does stand for Interactive Network. So that's their kind of their back office dealership computer system, not something that you and I have access to. Thank you for that, for reminding me, Stephen, because I forgot. I was trying to struggle and remember what it was called, but I couldn't. Okay, Frank Ward said, I can see why the fuel tank has to come out, but why does the top shelter have to come off? All the work is at the bottom of the bike. Frank, I think you have to remove the top shelter to get the fuel tank out. I'm pretty sure. I've never removed the fuel tank on a 2018 and above, but I'm pretty sure the top shelter has to come off. You know, the bike is put together kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. You know, you have to take this off to get to this piece, this off to get to this piece. It's a genius design, actually, but it does mean a lot of parts have to come off. So that's why. Honda would not recommend removing the top shelter if it weren't absolutely necessary. Hang on, I'm getting there. What's up? Said, you brought up something that concerns me. I live in a relatively small city in central Ontario. We have one Honda dealership. It's small, sells cars, small engine products, motorcycles, and ATVs. The power sport section is quite small. I think they don't sell many Goldwings and hence don't service many. The only time I've taken mine to them for service was for the first oil change, inspection for the fuel pump recall, and one time I had an issue with the O-ring. Okay. How many parts will they break while trying to do this repair, basically? I can't answer that. I don't know. The question is, do they have a Goldwing certified technician? They may even recommend that you take the motorcycle somewhere else, to a different, maybe to Toronto or one of the major cities. I don't know how far you live from Toronto. I'm sure they have a major Honda dealer in Toronto. I would consider trailering the bike if I had to go to a bigger dealership. That's just the problem you have when you live in a remote area in a situation like yours. And you make a good point. You know, they could damage something in the process of doing this repair. You never know. Now, it would be covered, so supposedly it would be covered under warranty. If they mess it up, they have to fix it. Okay, thank you for that question. What's up? Vine A said, same video. This is all on the recall video. Most of these are on the recall video I did. Hi, I got an invitation from my dealer in Slovenia a few days ago. See, we have a big reach here on Cruiseman's Garage. We got people in Slovenia watching our channel. Okay? Thank you for following us and for supporting us. Anyway, he got an invitation from a dealer for replacement of the fuel pump and primary drive gear bolt on his 2021 DCT airbag. I need service bulletin and repair procedure to verify the replacement. Where can I find it on the web? Thank you for the answer. Now, I had I had a couple of people ask me if I could post this service bulletin so that people could download and see what's in there. First of all, posting the service bulletin would not allow you to verify that they did the work. The only way I can think of where you could verify that they did the work would be if they allowed you to go in and see the bike and look at the bolt, eyes on, before they put the bike back together, and show you that little protrusion that's in the bolt. That would show you that they had replaced the bolt. The other thing is maybe they could take a picture of your bike in such a way, a high resolution picture where you could see that protrusion on that bolt and somehow know for sure it was your bike. I know I'm getting extreme here, but having the 30-page document would really not, other than you'd know what that little bolt's supposed to look like, and it's you can see it in my video. It just has a little dimple in it, a little protrusion, a little nub on the head of the bolt, and that is the replacement bolt. Not sure if that helps. I hope it does. I'm going to talk more about this 30-page document here in a little bit because I think somebody else asks me about posting that. Dre said, I highly recommend Niehaus Cycle, I hope I'm saying that right, Niehaus Cycle Sales in Litchfield, Illinois. I bought my 18 Tour manual used from then, and they have been great when servicing it. They did not pay me for this endorsement. Well, I hope not. I'd also like to see a copy of the Bulletin. Okay, he's asking for it as well. Okay, let me just go ahead and address this right now. I don't know if I have the permission and I don't know if it's ethical for me to post this where everybody can get access to it online. I'm sure there's going to be somebody out there that's going to do that, but I have not personally communicated with anybody at American Honda to say, yeah, go ahead and post it. I don't even have any contacts at American Honda, but I don't feel like it is my right. I already kind of pushed the envelope by showing what I showed in my video. So I'm just trying to be above board and not do something that Honda would not want, because that bulletin was meant for dealers. It was not meant for consumers. There's nothing in there really that is that revealing. I mean, it's basically just showing what steps you have to go through to create the tool and to remove the various parts to get to the bolt and all that. So I'm sorry. I know I'm going to piss some people off by saying this, but I just don't feel like it's my right to put something out there that comes from American Honda that was actually meant for a dealer, not for their consumers. But like I say, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody out there does not post it. So you might keep searching around. Somebody out there will probably put it out there. I have to be extra careful on this channel not to give, when people do me favors and they give me access to things, I just have to be very careful of what I then give other people access to, because they think I'm the only one getting access to it. They don't intend for it to go out to the whole world. And believe it or not, we have a pretty good reach. Okay, but thank you for the question. I hope you can find it online somewhere. I just don't feel like it's my right to post it. Bill Parker said, I know the odds of the bolt breaking and the hand grenading. The engine is slim, but to me it's more the peace of mind. It's always in the back of my head, and am I going to make it home? In my area, there's a few Honda dealers. Some I wouldn't take a sick cat to. Well, I can relate to that. The dealer I deal with has good techs, but I don't think they are of Goldwing level. I'm seriously thinking of trading my 2021 for a new 2025 just waiting for Honda to come out with information on the new ones. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to think about that. I really do. I got several messages where people, they might just trade their bike in. Maybe they've been considering it anyway. Maybe they're interested in a 2025 anyway, or even a good deal on a 2024. Cosmic Audio said, I wonder if removing all the parts necessary to do this repair will also allow for the air filter to be replaced while the bike is apart. Yes. 95% of everything you have to do to replace the air filter has already been done. So like I said, all you have to do is remove the bolts, drop in a new air filter. It shouldn't take more than an extra, I'm thinking a dealer's probably going to charge an extra 30 minutes or an hour for that. I doubt if they may not even do that. Especially if you buy the filter from them for $50 or whatever ridiculous price it is. But yes, go ahead and get the air filter done. I think we mentioned that earlier. Wayne Nelson said, what do you think would happen if you triked out your Goldwing? Well, I already mentioned that. You're still covered, and Honda does reimburse the dealer for any additional work. Now, I would say that if you have a Trike, I would take your Trike to a dealer that's used to working on Trikes. That's another reason, if you have a Trike, to go to DFW Honda here locally, because they sell a ton of Trikes. So they're very familiar with Trikes. Southern Honda, same way. In Tennessee, they sell a lot of Trikes. But if you have a small dealer that maybe has never sold a Trike, it might be a bigger challenge for them. Okay, Nick says, hi, Cruiseman. On the service bulletin, it only mentions the GL1800B, BD, D, and DA models. Basically, it only mentions the DCT models. I don't know if that's a misprint or what, because down further in the bulletin, it does say something about manual transmissions. I think it's probably going to cover both bikes. I talked to Jason about this, or Jacob, I'm sorry. He thinks it's probably going to be both manual and DCT. I think that's what he said. Garth says, Honda needs to offer owners of bikes that have this problem a guaranteed trade-in value to compensate the owner for this problem. The trade-in value should reflect market value established by a reliable source. And he goes on to say some other things. I doubt that's going to happen. That's going to be more up to a dealer than it would be Mother Honda. Honda's obligation is to get your bike back to factory spec. To make the repair, make sure it's repaired, make sure your motorcycle is safe. Honda does not take into consideration, nor in my opinion do they have any responsibility to guarantee you a market value for your motorcycle. That may not be fair. And you may not think it's fair, but that's just the reality of the situation in the world we live in. Once these repairs have been made, and they've been made correctly, which I'm assuming most of them will be, your motorcycle should be just as good as, if not better, than it was before. And it should not affect the market value. Now, for the first few months, it may, because this is fresh in everyone's mind and everybody's aware of it. But most of the people that are aware of this situation are people that have never owned a Goldwing. They don't know, they're not in the Goldwing community. So I would liken this to the frame recall in 2001, 2002. Once the frame was re-welded and repaired, your motorcycle was golden. I know there is that perception, but that has yet to prove itself, and there's no way to know at this point what that's going to be. Steve Waters, and he is a YouTube member. Thank you, Steve. Said, this is on the video I was talking about, the $1 Million Highway, that I recently put out to our members. Love the ride. Time for a return trip. Thanks for the reminder. Glad you enjoyed the video. Soon you'll have a ad-free video for my members. Let's see. Mark Hutchins says, my Goldwing name is Beast, partly because of the BT-Moto reflash. My Beast can whoop your shadow any day of the week. By the way, adding the 8K service to your maintenance videos was outstanding. I did reply to that message, and Mark, I have no doubt that BT-Moto upgraded Goldwing would stomp me plus I'm not a very aggressive rider anyway. But now Tom Miller might take you up. Tom's Goldwing Adventures. Tom Miller has the BT-Moto on his bike, and he looks pretty aggressive. He looks like he's a pretty aggressive rider to me. So I think you guys need to get together and settle this. Maybe pink slips? I don't know. 100 Emery said, can Honda update the Bluetooth with firmware update, or is it hardware? I'm assuming it's hardware because they haven't updated it since I've had my 2018. So I am assuming that updating the Bluetooth to a newer version requires new hardware. That's just a guess. I don't know, but I think it requires new hardware. Marco said, Cruiseman, enjoy your videos in regards to the DCT. Is it difficult to perform slow and parking lot maneuvers? At first, yes. It is a learning experience because you don't have the friction zone of a clutch. So you kind of learn how to drag the rear brake a little more when you're making slow maneuvers. You use your throttle and your rear brake. You get used to it, and you can get pretty proficient at slow maneuvers and parking lot maneuvers, even with a DCT, believe me. And of course, you want to use manual mode rather than tour mode. If you got manual mode, you can stay in first or second gear, whatever you feel more comfortable with, and that helps as well. I'm not even going to try that. Okay, this is on my video I did on the Sena 60S. I've got another video coming soon on the Sena 60S too. He asks, can it, he or she, I'm not sure, can it connect to an action camera and record audio for motovlogging purposes? It can connect to the Ace Pro. I tested it today or yesterday. And it can also, that means it should be able to connect to a GoPro 12 or above. So yes, you can connect via Bluetooth and use your Sena headset to communicate with your action camera. So for motovlogging, you can do that. Okay, that was the last question. That was it. Hey, I know this was a long one tonight. I really appreciate you hanging in there. If you have any other questions, put them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, you got something out of it, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. Much appreciated, because that really does help the YouTube rankings. Now, I will probably see you next time from Midland. I'll usually do a end of year video while I'm at my brother's. And so I will see you then. And until then, if you're able to ride in this weather, we've had some decent weather. But if you're able to ride wherever you live, remember to ride often, but ride safe.